Hi, welcome back to Storybook Crochet. In today's video we are going to be making some tiny baby bumblebees. So I am going to actually be using a thicker yarn for this just so you can see it better in the video. But if you would like to print off a free copy of the pattern, you can find that on my Ravelry shop, and I have a link to this pattern in the description below, so you can either follow along or you can just go print that off real quick. So for the original pattern, you're going to use the yarn's going to be a 3 or a lightweight in a yellow, brown, and white. Again, I'm doing mine with size 4 worsted weight yarn just so you can see it better for the video. So for the lighter weight, you're going to use a D hook. For today's video, I am using an F hook. You're going to need some scissors, a yarn needle, and some fiber fill. So you're going to want brown, yellow, and some white to get started. So grab your supplies and we will get going. Alright, we're going to start off by making a magic ring. So go ahead and make that and then chain 1. Alright, in our magic ring we're going to be making 6 single crochets. Alright, once you have your 6 made, go ahead and pull on that short tail there to close up that circle. And in this pattern you can go ahead and use a stitch marker if you feel like you need to keep track of each round. So for round 2, we're going to increase in each stitch around. We will not be joining our rounds, we're just going to continue working in the round. Okay, so we're going to put 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So 2 single crochets in the first stitch and 2 single crochets in the next stitch. You're going to continue that around until you have a total of 12 single crochets for round 2. Alright, so that finishes off round 2. For round 3, we're just going to single crochet 1 in each stitch around. So again, for round 3, you'll have a total of 12 single crochets. Alright, so at this point you can kind of pop that out. So this is the head of our bee, or the front of it. Alright, at this point we're going to go ahead and change our color to brown. So go ahead and insert your hook into that next stitch, pull up your yellow, but don't yarn over and pull through the stitches. You're going to grab your brown and you're going to pull that through both of those loops on your hook. So that's how we're changing our color on this particular pattern. And then I crochet over the 2 tails there to weave those in as I go. So with the brown, you're just going to single crochet around 1 in each stitch again. So you'll have 12 stitches again for this round. Okay, so we have our first brown stripe, and then I just go ahead and cut those tails to get them out of my way. as long as you crocheted over them. We're going to go ahead and change back to our yellow. So I'll show you that again. Insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up your yarn, and then grab your yellow and pull that through both of those loops. Okay, and then I go ahead and just cut my brown at that point. Alright, again, you're going to just crochet over those two tails and one single crochet in each stitch around. Okay, so go ahead and cut those tails off, and we're going to switch to brown one more time. So pull up your yellow loop and then grab your brown. And sometimes you have to pull on those tails to kind of get your stitches where you need them to be tightness wise. Alright, again, you're just going to single crochet around. Okay, so let's cut those tails, and then that was our last brown round. So before we move on, we're going to go ahead and grab our fiber fill and stuff the bee. Our next round will be our final round where we're going to close it off. Alright, so let's grab our yellow and we'll finish off our bee real quick. Alright, so for this last round we're just going to decrease around. Okay, so we're going to insert our hook into that first stitch. We're going to pull the yarn up, insert the hook into the next stitch, pull the yarn up. So at this point you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So we made the first 2 stitches into 1, and we're going to repeat that 6 times around. So insert your hook, pull your yarn up, insert into the next stitch, pull your yarn up, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Okay, so continue that around until you have a total of 6 stitches for this round. Alright, so we made our last decrease, so you're just going to slip stitch into that next stitch, or the first stitch from the round. Leave a little bit of a tail, and we're going to weave that in and close that opening with that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these, and then I'm going to try to add a little bit more fiber film just to finish off stuffing this tiny bee. Okay, so once you're satisfied with that, this is what your bee should look like so far. We're going to grab our yarn needle Go ahead and get that threaded. Alright, and then I'm just going to weave back and forth through these stitches on the opening and cinch that closed. While we're doing this, if you would comment below and let me know what you're going to use your tiny bees for. The little ones would be really cute for like earrings or even like little keychains. You can use them to sew them onto projects. You really can do a whole lot of fun things with them. Okay, so once you have that cinched closed, let's go ahead and just weave that through to the front, and then we'll cut that off. Okay, so we're going to move on now to the wings. So grab your white yarn and we will get those made. Okay, so I've already made one of the wings, so I'll show you how to make the second one real quick. They're super easy, and then we will get those sewn onto our bees. So grab your hook and your white yarn. We're going to make a magic ring. We're going to chain one. And then we're going to put 6 half double crochets into our ring. Alright, once you make your 6, go ahead and pull that tail closed. Alright, and then we're just going to slip stitch to that very first half double crochet that you made. And that's it for the wings. Super simple. Okay, cut a little bit of a longer tail so that we can sew it on to our bumblebee. And then I go ahead and just snip off that short tail that we started with. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and weave in one of the tails because we only need one to sew, because we're going to sew them together and then sew it on. So go ahead and weave one of those in. And then go ahead and thread the other one. Alright, so you can go ahead and, I mean, there's different ways that you can kind of sew them together like this, or you can sew them together like this. It really just depends on what look you like best. So I just go through a couple of stitches here to attach them together. Like so, and then grab your bee. And you're just going to sew around kind of the base of the wings to attach them. Alright, and then I go kind of around the back too. Alright, once you have them attached the way you want them, I go ahead and just weave that tail in a couple of times through the back of one of the wings. And then cut that off. Alright, so our tiny bumblebee is finished, and you can see the difference in size just by switching the yarn and the hook size. And if you did, these would be super cute if you did them in the bulky yarn too. So comment below and let me know what size yarn and hook you used and which you like better. Go ahead and also hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so that you get notified of future patterns that I put up. If you enjoyed this video, you can also hit the like button. I appreciate you joining me for today's video, and I will see you next time.